Hey guys, welcome back. It's time to take a look at what is more case wrapping. We're going to see, is this a good idea, bad idea? We saw the previous experience lived through BBCE, I guess multiple experiences where sketchy stuff happens because they're just wrapping stuff with no guarantee, with no real method behind it other than, putting together Frankenstein boxes, putting wrap on G.I. Joe cases. But I had a few people recently reach out to me, thanks to those people, about Dave and Adams, who is now offering a similar service. So we're going to take a look into that right now and see if it is just as predatory, just as much of a cash grab. And I'm here to tell you that probably not, because I don't think it gets much worse than that. It seems like there's a whole lot more, ethics and expertise and reassurance going into this, because these are products that are obtained from the manufacturer, from distribution. This isn't some sketchy stuff from Western Canada handed off by a bunch of J-boys who paid you a whole bunch of money, a whole bunch of cash money to put your wrap on it. This is them offering a service, which I think it's a good service. I'm not sure exactly on the price difference, how much they're charging, if that'll change over time. But I think this is a good thing for anyone that's looking to collect sealed stuff. Unfortunately, not an option if you want to send in the vintage stuff. That had to be done in the past in order for it to be reliable. And I guess before we get into this, if you're buying anything like this sealed product, if you're getting it straight from distribution or from a reputable source to begin with, always make sure that you save your receipts. I guess if you're buying online, typically those receipts are automatically going to be saved for you because you'll have an email transaction receipt. That's going to add value in the future. You'll be able to say, hey, I'm the first owner of this. I bought it straight from X reputable game store location at the time of release, making it very, very believable. The provenance there is something of value, regardless of whether you want to go to this extreme where you get them to wrap it for you. Just having the entire origin story of your sealed product is a huge bonus for anyone that's looking to purchase it in the future. So here we can see we have stuff. It's modern because that's what they're gonna have. They're not gonna have a whole lot of older stuff left over that they can say for sure that they got from the factory. So we got factory fresh, we got case fresh, whether you have an individual booster box or you have the factory case. So I think this is good as long as everything's on record. It looks like they have a label that is a little bit more official than the BBCE just blank white label. I don't know if you get a laminated sheet with these ones that says how fabricated your box is, that you can just not include when you sell it. This looks a whole lot more like there's no way you're going to be able to replicate it. The thing is too, with the images, if you have images of the wrap, or I think they provide a video, we're going to watch their information. They have a couple of videos on it. If you have the wrap, the seam is never going to be replicated, no matter how many times you put that through. If the seam looks the same as the seam from the video and or photos that are provided of the certified case, you can be pretty sure that that's the same one, because the way that this stretches and everything else, it's like a fingerprint. You're not going to replicate that. All right. So this, for anyone that's overly concerned, to me, I don't see a whole lot of extra value in doing this, rather than just if you're going to buy it from somewhere reputable, keep your receipt, and that's it. I mean, it might be a little bit harder for people if there's a chain of buying and selling. Then it could get to a point that it's more valuable information. But I think I don't know, guys. You guys let me know down below. I'm sure that this is definitely something that a buyer would like to see. That is coming straight from Dave and Adams. But me personally, as long as I can see where the box came from originally, I'm typically not buying a lot of sealed product on the secondary market anyway. It's not really my thing. But I can see this being a value added for certain people. to know that this hasn't changed. And it could be like years from now, especially if it's something that changes hands a lot of times. I think that's where the value might come into play. But personally, if I'm buying sealed product, I always keep my receipt. It's not from someone else. It's coming from the factory to the distributor, to the game store, to me. So not really something that I'm looking to do. Also, if you're not in the U.S., then it might not be the greatest option. But maybe this will become the new normal. So here we have Dave & Adams Factory Fresh Fact, Not Opinion. Factory Fresh is a case that came to Dave & Adams directly from the manufacturer and is shrink wrapped in Dave & Adams Factory Fresh wrap. A unique QR code security label is applied to the case after being wrapped. Each QR code security label contains information about the product and a link to a video of the entire wrap process. So I don't know if the entire wrap process is as important as the fact that you have images of the wrap itself, so that it's not altered. If somebody tries to cut it open and reseal it, put it on something else, or tries to replicate the wrap, then they can't, because you're never going to get it exactly the way that it was originally on any box. If you're going to put a case away as an investment, then Factory Fresh is the way to go. These cases came straight to us from the manufacturer. Its authenticity is fact, not opinion. So I don't know. It doesn't say anything about how they guarantee it or anything like that, but I don't know if that's really something that you necessarily need to be concerned about. As long as you're checking back and it's the same wrap, then it should be good to go, right? All right, let's take a look at the video here. The music is a little loud compared to the voice, but hopefully you guys can kind of hear what he's saying.
Hello everyone, this is Don at Dave & Adams, and today we are wrapping one case of Pokemon Sun and Moon Burning Shadows Booster. This case released in August of 2017 and came directly to us from the manufacturer through an authorized...
All right, let's take a look at the video on the page. Unfortunately, the microphone volume on their end is a little bit low compared to the music that they're playing in the background, but hopefully you guys can kind of hear what he's saying. I'll turn it up a little bit, and if not, there's a better video later on that we'll take a look at too. That's it. That's all. All right, now, I think that's pretty much it on the page there. If you guys want to read through any of the details, we got that. Interesting. I think it adds value as long as it's not like painfully expensive in terms of a premium on top of what's going on. I think people will be excited about this. Let's go through. We read this here, the fact, not opinion. It'd be nice if they even just like put some kind of guarantee on it, but I don't know if that's necessarily what they're going for. I think you're more just trusting in the fact that they got it directly from the manufacturer, and that's about it. There's no like money back kind of thing. But I don't know if there's really necessarily a need for that if it's brand new product coming straight and at the time that they receive it, not very expensive. So it's not really something that they want to tarnish their name on. So you guys let me know what you think about that as well. We got the Case Fresh, fact not opinion. Case Fresh is a box of cards pulled directly from a sealed case that came to Dave & Adams directly from the manufacturer. It is removed, placed into an acrylic display case, and closed with tamper-proof security stickers. It is wrapped with Dave & Adams Case Fresh wrap, and a QR code security label is applied to the wrap. Each QR code security label will have information about the product and a link to a video of the entire process. If you're going to put a box away as an investment, then Case Fresh is the way to go. These boxes came straight to us from the manufacturer. Its authenticity is fact, not opinion. They really like that wording. So this is kind of cool. So for the people that are going to be displaying them in an acrylic box, that's sort of another option there. I don't know if you necessarily want to have like the Dave & Adams logo all over it if you're going to display it. And you could probably, if you had somewhat of a name or reputation in the hobby itself, you could be probably doing something similar to this. You're getting your QR stickers, tamper-proof stickers, and some display cases, acrylic display cases. Record opening the case on camera when it comes in. You can even put like the receipt or something inside the case at the back if you really wanted to. So interesting stuff. Let's see, we got another video here. Let's watch this one and then we'll call it. I do want to know what you guys think though. I think it's fine. As long as they're not getting into like giving opinions on stuff that they probably shouldn't. BBCE style, just for a cash payout.
My name is Don White. I work for Dave & Adams, and we are launching a new service called DAFresh. DAFresh is a guarantee to collectors that the box or case that they purchase is coming to them untampered with and directly from the manufacturer. We are launching two options to start: Factory Fresh and Case Fresh. Factory Fresh is when we wrap cases that we receive directly from a manufacturer like Panini or Topps, and then Case Fresh is when we crack open one of those cases and wrap the sealed boxes inside. For Factory Fresh, let's say we receive a shipment, we would wrap those cases in our Factory Fresh shrink wrap and then apply a unique label with a QR code where you'll be able to watch the entire process of your exact case being wrapped. The Case Fresh process is very similar. One of the differences being your box will be put into an acrylic display case, complete with security stickers to ensure that once the acrylic is sealed, it hasn't been opened. In the video, you'll also see us cracking open the case, adding more assurance for our consumer about the integrity of that box. The video service is unlike anything else that exists in the hobby. You are going to get a behind-the-scenes look at how your product is handled. When you receive your wrapped product, its label will have a QR code on it. Scan that QR code and it will direct you to a video of that specific product being wrapped. It is going to offer another layer of security in that you will see your box or case getting wrapped. If you were to sell this case or box in the future, the person you sell it to will have the reassurance of the DA wrap and video process. We're going to offer a wide range of products that will constantly be changing. We can't offer every product because it depends what shipments we're receiving at that point in time, but this is the same reason we won't wrap boxes or cases that come to us from the public. We want our wrap to be a symbol to collectors that they can have 100% confidence about the authenticity of what is underneath. It's not someone's opinion, it's a fact. We hope you enjoy this new service. If you have any questions, please contact us at service@dacardworld.com.
All right, that's pretty much it, guys. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you found this interesting. I know I did. And I'm kind of glad that it didn't turn out to be another wrapping of vintage booster boxes without expertise. Or, I mean, even experts in the hobby sometimes make mistakes with that stuff. So charging money for it without a guarantee is sort of a terrible practice. Looking at you, a BBCE, and yeah, I think this is good. I don't think it's necessarily something that I'm going to participate in, but I think it's definitely a step in the right direction for anyone that feels like this adds enough value. Depending on how much they're charging, how much more it'll cost you to have your stuff wrapped, could be a good option for sealed collectors. All right, guys, join the Discord. See you next time. Bye.